So at Red Oak Strategic, we do work for commercial and public sector customers. Tyler, I was hoping you could maybe address AI is at different stages with different types of customers, right? So if you're a startup, you might be able to really quickly get AI going because you don't have a lot of technical debt. Now in the public sector, there might be some more tight guardrails. Can you talk a little bit about how we talk to those types of customers and make sure that whatever we do deploy or design is really efficient and right for their needs?
Sure, Mark, thanks. I think we always have this concept of headline syndrome with some of these AI features where you might see something on X or in a news article and say, hey, this new service is launched. I saw someone build something. I want this. Like, can we roll this out tomorrow? And commercial, sometimes we get to say yes, and that's really fun. As AWS solutions architects and engineers who work in public sector as well as commercial, we need to keep a running list of what cutting edge services are generally available for commercial and which ones have made their way into GovCloud. Not all services, when they're released, when you see the flashy blog post or the release at reInvent, are immediately available to our public sector clients. One of the pieces that we help provide as far as value add is we get to share with our clients when some service that might impact their architecture, whether they might be aware of it or not, moves from general availability into GovCloud. For example, S3 tables was an expansion of S3 that supported managed Iceberg tables for data lakes. This is a deep tech addition as a service, but it can be a game changer for a lot of these highly scalable, aggressive SLA data lakes that need to be CJIS compliance for the criminal justice space. And we can help evaluate not only when these services become available for use in GovCloud broadly, but whether it fits the specific regulated industry. So this is huge. It happens in government. It also happens a lot in healthcare when you have things like comprehend medical and requirements to have your HIPAA compliant data lake. When you want to add in new services, you need to do these extra checks. It does mean that we oftentimes need to be pumping the brakes instead of hitting the gas when it comes to public sector. But we understand that our responsibility is to make sure that we are compliant first, and that this is something that helps us build respect and authority with our customers, that we're always aware of and doing our due diligence as we come into conversations and saying, hey, even if we can't use this new service, here's what we can build, and this is how we're going to provide you the best value we can now, and leave space in the roadmap to swap in these new services that we know are coming down the pipeline. And the last thing I'll say is we have the advantage of speaking usually weekly with some of our AWS partners to understand what's on the roadmap. They'll never give you a specific date, but we can usually have an idea about what's coming and when. We can plan for that. We can help share that expertise and some of those conversations that we get to have with our customers so that they can prepare properly for their budget for the next fiscal year and how to deliver the best tooling that they can for their services and their use cases.
One of the most important things about this aspect of it is also making sure that the right partner is at the table, consulting partner like us, so that we understand, because all the AWS services, for example, you mentioned healthcare, they're HIPAA eligible, but they're not automatically HIPAA compliant. And the same goes for justice and public safety and other certifications. The services are eligible for those, but they have to be architected and built properly by folks that are certified like yourself and members of our team in order to deploy in such a way that makes them compliant. And so I think that is very important for customers as they're thinking about bringing in outside help, bringing in a partner, is making sure that they understand how to take those services either on normal AWS, GovCloud, and actually deploy them in a way that still allows them to be compliant, not just eligible for that designation.
Yeah, great point, Mark. And we can use some services that help us make sure that we're doing everything correctly. We use Amazon Config, for example. We can have specific compliance and regulatory runbooks and guidebooks that we can actually have programmatic scans in addition to our reading of the blogs and the systems. We also deliver security reports and compliance reports for some of the most common compliance systems that we see. One that I'll add in addition to healthcare and government is GDPR compliance. So there's a variety of new services that were launched to be GDPR compliant in modern regions. So there were some services that you had to be really, really wary of using if you had a GDPR compliance case, so using data that was based in Europe and European consumers. And just in the last 2 weeks have some of these new services been unlocked. And this is really important for us to understand and be that valued partner and that caring partner that's going to go that extra mile to do that due diligence and do that double check.